What is up? We are here with the NBA Rundown, brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Astaire, joined today by AP, and we will be bringing Tyler in. If you guys were watching the Talking Touchdown show, you saw that he had a little issue with one of his pets. He's taking care of that, but we're going to dive right in because we're already running a little late. The chat is not running late, though. See a bunch of my guys in here, Cesar Martinez, Robert, Sauce Boss, W Nuts is letting us know that we're late, but Brandon Marin's here. My guy Clyde is in here, and we are ready to talk some NBA. AP, how's your week been? Rough night for us last night. We should have been 3-2, but the Magic had a 68-point fourth quarter. I had already counted that as a win. I flipped over the channel. I was like, what is going on? But these things happen when you're betting the NBA and you're betting unders, and you're here to talk me out of these unders. You love these Friday night overs. What have your thoughts been on the association?
Yeah, I mean, a couple notes. Like last night, so my cash streak ended for DraftKings, which is always unfortunate. But last night, like how embarrassing for the NBA, for the Clippers organization. Like what an absolute, like just pathetic showing. I mean, you have Norman Powell like jogging back. You have Amir Coffey. I mean, these are not even like necessarily role players who, when you get on the court, you figure you're going to see a ton of energy and a ton of effort. And we got none of that at all. And you wonder if it comes down to leadership or a lack thereof in that organization. We all talked about the Clippers and how they're going to be the team out of the West. They have the most names, the most talent. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, all of the above. Now John Wall. These guys are terrible. Absolutely embarrassing. Like absolutely embarrassing. They got their asses kicked yesterday. And I mean, it is what it is. Like it was just like a TNT game too. I don't know. I could rant about that.
And neither game was that good. I was on the Mavericks. I felt usually I don't give up on my NBA games earlier because people will message me, "Oh, the team you picked is doing bad." I go, "It's the second quarter," but I knew we weren't coming back.
We talked about it on the Up to Lock show with JSU. K Fallick was on there too. We all agreed it was going to be like a playoff type game. After getting absolutely embarrassed by the Oklahoma City Thunder, we knew Boston was going to bounce back. I don't think that's going to be the case with this Clippers team. I think they get destroyed tonight again. So you already have one of my bets tonight that's already locked in. And I hate betting on the Timberwolves, but I'm on them. I mean, maybe this Clippers team surprises me and bounces back. Not with what I saw last night.
Yeah, I mean, it's rough, right? Because we go through the same way. Boston was embarrassed by the Oklahoma City Thunder. The only difference is it wasn't on national TV, but they gave up 150 points to a team without Shea. They bounced back, so we'll see how it goes.
Like Robert and Chat, like we talk about Ty Lue as this excellent, amazing coach. Like, why? Like, what have the Clippers ever shown us when they brought together Paul George and Kawhi Leonard? We've seen nothing. You know, I mean, like Kawhi, maybe due to the injury and stuff, maybe that's like stuck in his head. But Paul George, he hasn't won a championship. I mean,
if I were to stick up for Ty Lue, because I actually think he's a pretty good coach, I think that what he does really well is playoff adjustments. So we're not seeing that during the season. He understands when to go small, and he's not afraid to bench some of his better players.
We saw that last night. He's a Nebraska guy. He played for Nebraska, so obviously Ty Lue too.
Yeah, we're Team Ty Lue here, right? I don't think that was on him last night.
But I feel like this Clippers team has been talked up like, you know, if we go back to the start of the season and the year before, they were talked up as like this team's going to be so tough to beat. Like they're so good. When have the Clippers ever done anything? I mean, their best. I
have not been high on the Clippers. And I think this is the idea that everyone thinks that Kawhi Leonard is going to return to that guy in 2019 that beat the Warriors, because let's not forget the whole Warriors team got injured, right? I'm not taking away and not saying he didn't win the title, because they still had to win the game on the court. But it's not like they beat the full strength Warriors team, right? And he's not the same guy on the defensive end. The reason he was so awesome then, he could guard anyone. Remember, he shut down Giannis, right?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is a defensive stud. And I still think he can get a shot on the offensive end. I just don't think he is by and far the best defensive player in the league like he was in 2019.
It was an ACL injury, right? Or was it something else?
No, so he has a degenerative knee condition. It's everyone else is normal. He has a degenerative knee condition, which is why like the load management originally started, because the doctor said, hey, this isn't a normal injury. this is just going to get worse and worse. And I think that we're seeing it. I'm not high on the Clippers at all. I don't think they're going to be able to stay healthy for the full season. And you know what? Another addition that I just don't like at all is John Wall. I mean, talk about a guy that just puts up stats but doesn't do anything to help your team win. So
I think it was like Jason Preston was the only guy hustling yesterday. And it's like, I had to look this guy up. I'm not familiar with this game at all. I don't follow college ball as close as some people, but he was the least hustling when he got in there. So tough scene for the Clippers last night. But
yeah, I mean, at least we had the Nuggets -5 in the NBA playbook, so we were able to cash on it over on the bet side. Right?
So the reason I'm heated is because we were talking on the show, and I said go Tatum over Luka. So I was like, oh, we smashed that. We got that right. Excellent. I faded Adams. I'm Steven Adams. I've been a huge fan of his during this stretch, but I just at 60% ownership, I couldn't get there. So I went with our boy Draft Cheat. I played Xavier Tillman. So like I had the pieces checked. And then what I did spread when I saw Paul George was in, my understanding from that, because I thought Paul George was going to sit. I thought, let's sit. They're on a back-to-back. They go to Minnesota tomorrow. Much easier game to win. So that's why I thought he was going to sit. With them playing, I'm like, oh, we're going to get a game tonight. We're going to get the Clippers full group, and they're going to get effort. They're going to try. So what I did is I went from Jokic and then Norman Powell. I was able to switch and get Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. So like I had that last game stacked up with Reggie, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard, and it didn't take long for me to know I was in trouble when I saw them jogging up and down the court and getting absolutely schooled by Aaron Gordon. Like literally, anyways, this is going to be a 3-hour show if I keep going, so I better stop.
Yeah, I mean, and I know people get frustrated betting the NBA, and people say, "I can't believe."
Robert's on one. Lauri Markkanen was a beast yesterday, man. He lit it up. Absolutely lit it up.
If you want to talk about some of the problems that the Rockets have, my guy Şengün, I'm a big Şengün guy, and I know they want him to be a small ball 5. He can't because Lauri Markkanen is not even one of the biggest dudes in the league. And he looked like head and shoulders, like just bigger, stronger, everything that Şengün. Even if Şengün puts on muscle, he's not going to be tall enough to be a small ball 5 because he's not quick enough. To be a small ball 5, you're going to have to be able to rotate on the perimeter. They got to make him a 4. They need some rim protection. And that offense is absolutely terrible. Robert actually, and I sent a couple DMs, just some of the offensive sets that that the Rockets run. It looks like, remember that and one league? Where they all just take turns doing dribbling tricks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they're not even running a
KPJ, doing great. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and hey, they're great. I mean, Jalen Green had a dunk. I mean, it was fantastic. But boy,
we get in the dunk contest, we get Shaedon Sharpe. He's a dunker.
He should have been better in the dunk contest last year. That was really disappointing. I wonder if he comes back and tries to go ahead and redeem himself. But hey, we got a big game, big slate tonight, right? We can bounce right back tonight, AP. We're going to get that streak going again. And it's going to take some work, though. There's a lot of moving parts in these games. But let's go ahead and start. The Portland Trailblazers are now +2 in Indiana, taking on the Pacers. Total's 237. This line was 1 when I did the NBA playbook this morning. Of course, if you want access to the NBA playbook, that's every single bet that I place. Head on over to runpuresports.com. It's on the bets page, NBA playbook. If it has an RPB tag next to it, then you know that I've bet it. RPB tags have been on absolute fire this year. And I'll tell you what, just a little spoiler here, AP. I put an RPB tag next to the Pacers today. Pacers have won 4 games in a row at home. They went to Philadelphia. They lost in overtime on Wednesday night, 129-126. Joel Embiid set out that game, right? So, but it was a great performance. They had a double-digit deficit in the fourth quarter. I had the +7 that night. I was a little worried. The Pacers fought back. I'm loving this team right now for what they are. This is not a championship contender team, but this is a good team in that 5 to 10 range that's going to give you good effort every night, and they have the stars in the core for the future. I'm not necessarily down on the Blazers either, but this is a rough patch for them right now. They've lost 5 of their last 7 games. We took them against the Timberwolves on Wednesday night, and at no point did I really feel like we had a chance to win that bet. And this is the Timberwolves we're talking about. That's not necessarily a good team. So I'm going to take the team that's playing well over the team that's struggling right now. I like the Pacers -2. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you on this one. Both teams actually are monsters at covering the spread. I think both of them lead the league. Indiana 24-15, ATS, Portland 22-15. But as you said, the team that is a little bit hotter right now is the Pacers. And Halliburton, like Harden was playing good. I was impressed by Harden's defense in the game, in that last game when Indiana Philly went to OT. Like if that James Harden shows up the rest of the way and in the playoffs, and then if Tyrese Maxey gets going, I mean that's it. Philly's going to be kind of what we thought they would be. But what I was getting at is Halliburton still did his thing. He still created a ton of opportunities for his players, and they capitalized on that. I think it's going to be the same story here. So I'm with you guys, man. I like the Pacers in this one. I think it's going to be a good game though, back and forth. And 237 seems like the right number there. So a tough over to hit. But if I had to bet one way, I'm not betting unders right now in the NBA. So I'd lean overs.
All right. Yeah. And you know what? These numbers are so high. We have a couple edges to the unders. Tyler, I already lamented the fact that we didn't get that under in the Magic game last night. And AP lamented the effort that the Clippers put forward. So if you want to touch on any of those as well, you're welcome.
Yeah, we haven't got very far.
This is a safe space.
Tyler.
You can let it all out.
Ranting.
You guys are good. AP, I know you got some kids. You want a free puppy to go along with that?
He's having problems with his dog right now.
No, my dog's old, man. My wife doesn't want another one. I know. I would. I'm the animal guy.
I'll drive it right to you, buddy. You ain't got to pay. I'll give it to you for free.
All right, Tyler. Well, we're on the Blazers versus the Pacers. Still can't believe that 68-point fourth quarter. I'd already started counting that money, Tyler. I was on my way to spend it. The Pacers are now -2 against Portland, taking on the Blazers. I basically told AP Pacers are playing well. Blazers haven't been playing well. They disappointed us on Wednesday, right, when we took them over the Timberwolves. Now they play an Indiana team that I think is playing a little better than Minnesota right now. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, in looking at the injury report, it looks like Portland might be missing Jeremiah Grant. Little still out. Nurkic is going to play. The big one for them, though, I know hasn't played much this year, but when he isn't there, had made the team look a lot better in my eyes. Gary Payton, he's questionable. If he misses here too, I mean, these Indiana guards, I think are just going to run rampant. I think Halliburton eats them up. Yeah, -1 here in Indiana. Give me the Pacers.
All right, so we both like the Pacers here. Let's talk about your favorite team, Tyler. The New York Knicks are +3.5 in Toronto, taking on the Raptors, right? Two different teams with a different feel around them. The Knicks are playing well this season. The Raptors now showing up in trade rumors. I really don't know what to make of that. I guess, I mean, those guys will be attractive on the open market, and this team doesn't really have a chance to compete for a title as presently constructed. Not sure how that affects that team. Knicks are catching 3.5 on the road. I usually like the Raptors at home, but I don't know in this situation. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still going to be on the Raptors here. I think they win the game. I'll probably bet it through a performance double instead.
Really? You're not high on the Knicks tonight?
No, I mean, the last 10 trips to Toronto, they've lost every single one of them. So I think it's a weird place for them to play. Toronto has all their guys. When we talk about it, when they have all their guys, they're a pretty good team. The Siakam double and win here +240. I like that. This total, though, 217. I know all three of us are sitting here looking at it, and there's only one way we want to click this button. Over.
Yeah, let me see what I had that one at. I'll pull that up now while AP breaks this game down. Knicks, Raptors, your thoughts, AP?
Yeah, I'm going to side with Toronto here. I like Knicks have been playing good and everything. This team defensively, I just think they're going to be able to, focus in on Julius Randle or Jalen Brunson or Emmanuel Quickly, who those have been the key guys basically doing everything. And if you're the Raptors, like with how they are defensively, that's just what they do. You're going to make guys like Quentin Grimes and Miles McBride has been the guy off the bench getting a lot of run, who I don't know if I've ever seen Miles McBride hit a jumper. I don't know about you guys, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not very – all right, in fairness, I'm not that familiar with his game, so there's that. But I think I played him in DFS once when he was starting. He played 40 minutes, and he got me like 14 DK points, and I just saw him miss shot after shot. But for the Knicks to win this one, Julius Randle needs to just have another monster game. And I don't know. I think the Raptors, with how they're built, can make things a little bit difficult on him. So give me Toronto in this one.
All right. You guys both like Toronto. Tyler, I just looked. I had a slight edge to the under, but we're not playing that. It's also gone down 1.5. So people are betting that under right now. Chicago Bulls are plus 4.5 in Philadelphia, taking on the Sixers. Of course, it wouldn't be a 76ers breakdown without checking the injury report. Joel Embiid is out. Alex Caruso is playing. Alex Caruso is questionable. Javonte Green is questionable. Tony Bradley will be playing center for the Chicago Bulls. Tyler, start with you. What are your thoughts on the Bulls and the Sixers?
Yeah, I mean, the Bulls just continue to be a thorn in my side. We bet the Nets on Wednesday night. They beat the Nets outright to end that winning streak. So I'm probably just going to walk away from this game spread and not bet a single dollar in it because the other team on the other side is Philadelphia, who's also been a thorn in my side. I don't think you could pay me to bet this game.
All right. Yeah, two teams we've had problems handicapping so far this year, AP. Can you lead us out of the forest? Can you help us see the light?
Yeah, so I like the Bulls here, and the only reason is because Joel Embiid's out, and I think if Embiid's in, they get waxed. But with Embiid out, the Bulls, the matchup-wise, just look at how this team, both teams are built. Matchup-wise, I think the Bulls are set up much better because, like, when Embiid is in there, like the Bulls don't have anyone that can slow Joel Embiid down. Now you're talking PJ Tucker to start at the 5. Then they're going to bring Montrezl Harrell in to back PJ Tucker off. I mean, yeah, I think the Bulls are going to be able to compete in this one. I like the over as well, over 231 if you want to get that both ways. For DFS purposes, man, I kind of like Tyrese Maxey like as a large field tournament play. 36 minutes, obviously that includes overtime against the Pacers, but this is a guy that they need to get back going, get him ramped up, and if they want to do anything when it comes playoff time. So Tyrese Maxey, 7K, I think is really interesting. Harden's going to be chalk. The other play I like is Tobias Harris. So we can play these power forward types against the Bulls. I think Harris is going to have a monster game.
All right, Tobias Harris. Looking for some Tobias Harris night. And Tyler, I'm with you. I'm fine staying away from this. Another one, hey, I show an edge to the under here.
You were telling AP to lead us out of the forest in that instance. Well, Spread, I'm building the cabin. I ain't even trying to navigate out of that forest.
Right.
So, Spread, kind of curious because, like, I see this game playing, like, smaller and more faster pace with Tyrese Maxey back. Like, when Tyrese, when he gets the ball, he's always pushing it up the court, it seems like. And maybe we'll get less of James Harden just like slowly dribbling, the ball up. So that's kind of why I like the over here. But
yeah, that's a good point, right? Because you basically saying with Maxey in and Embiid out, all the numbers that I'm using to create my projections are basically flawed because they're representing a pace that we don't expect to see tonight.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't just build this model and bet it and go to work. You need to be watching the NBA and you need to be aware of the potential flaws of your stuff. And that's why I always say it's good to create your own numbers because you have an idea of how the books are coming to these numbers, especially my guy Clyde always teases me because I'm pretty close to the books on a lot of them. But if
there's a game that goes to OT tonight, it's probably this one. That's why I can't bet the under on it too.
Yeah,
it seems like the Bulls always get to overtime. And the Bulls and Knicks, man. Yeah. I feel like those two teams always get to overtime. So
Tyler, I like DeMar DeRozan to have a big night here.
I don't hate that call. I mean, nice matchup for him here. Probably going to be Tobias Harris that probably guards him. He's not the best defender either. I could definitely see DeRozan, and he's going to be able to get to all his spots. Like, you're not going to have a big guy like Embiid standing on the floor just in your way. I like that call. DeRozan could be in for a big game right here.
And if you look at DeRozan's numbers, it feels like the better his opponent, the better he plays. His best two performances recently.
Well, I see guys in the chat talking about that too. Like our guy Robert says, the better a team plays, the better a team is, the better the Bulls play. So
yeah,
it's just that it's like they get up for these games and then they're trying to act like a championship team, and then the bad teams roll in. They're like, we don't need this game.
Yeah, and for what they've accomplished, that's definitely a bad attitude. So maybe
I still would love to see this team with Lonzo. Like, I don't know.
I agree there. I think Lonzo's the big piece missing that would have made that.
I don't know if he's ever coming back.
If he comes back, he's not.
That doesn't sound good, man. It doesn't sound good.
I mean, he was just barely walking at the beginning of the season.
Okay.
Yeah, I would take DeMar over 25 points, Brandon. I like that prop tonight. Yeah, well, hey, I don't have access to DraftKings, but I like it.
So we got Sauce Boss says this slate's tricky. It's not. I promise you, it's not a tricky slate, and I'll explain why once we get to the last game of the slate.
All right, can't wait for that. That's what we call.
I can't wait either because Atlanta's not playing any defense. It's LeBron padding stats. Like LeBron's gonna put up an insane line tonight. We'll get to that game. We'll get.
All right, well, that's what you got to look forward to. So stay tuned here on the NBA Rundown, guys. Give us a thumbs up. We're here every Monday through Friday, giving you the winners, talking through the slate, and of course, giving out the best bets. The Charlotte Hornets are +10 in Milwaukee, taking on the Bucks. This Milwaukee team, man, it's been Giannis and a bunch of G Leaguers. What's going on here? Crazy injury report. Giannis probable. Marjan Beauchamp, who's a rookie, probable. George Hill probable. Drew Holiday probable. Oh, Joe Ingles is off injury. Chris Middleton is another guy. Maybe he's in that Lonzo rehab center. We haven't seen much of him this year. Gordon Hayward, doubtful for Charlotte. So here we are. We have a Charlotte team that's absolutely terrible with a pretty clean injury report. And we have a Milwaukee team that, boy, we got a hashtag wait for the news on this one. Hi, IP.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have to wait for the news here. And because that's because the Bucks are going to absolutely destroy this team. Like, give me Giannis plus Javon Carter, Joe Ingles, Marshawn, Sandro Mamu, maybe Jordan Nwora. Give me Giannis plus those scrubs all day against a fully healthy Hornets squad. We'll leave LaMelo Ball alone. Like I love LaMelo Ball's game. I just think it's like what a tough card he's been dealt right now with this team. But man, the Bucks are going to absolutely dominate. You know, these superstars like watch each other closely too. We saw it. Like Luka came and he had that stretch where he was putting up insane numbers, like absolutely insane. Then what did we see? We saw LeBron put up an insane number. Now we've seen Giannis put up monster numbers, averaging 44 points, like real points over his last 4 or 5 or 6 games, I think. Just insane. I think he does.
Laurie Markkinen was like, "Screw that! I got to get my name."
Yeah, Laurie, yeah. Well, yeah, he might be on the All-Star team on the West Side, don't you guys think, Laurie?
I wouldn't.
It's in Utah.
He deserves it.
He's got to be on the All-Star team. Yeah.
So
he's just looking jacked too. That dude put on some weight,
dude. He is. Just to wrap this one up, Giannis definitely in play for DFS. I worry a little bit about blowout because I think this game's going to be over. I think he still puts up a really good number, but I don't know if we're going to get the back and forth. So, like, I'm going to side with probably like LeBron and a few others over him. But, man, Giannis, I think, just gets it done again tonight.
Tyler, as well as handicapping these NBA teams, we handicap ourselves in our process. And one of the things that we identified is that we've been afraid to lay big point spreads. I got an edge here tonight. I haven't bet it yet, but I got the Bucks winning by 13. Is it time to maybe attack that weakness that we found in our strategy?
Yeah, I think so. All the guys are back from Milwaukee too right here. They're going to smash his team.
All right. Everybody likes the Bucks.
We've seen them at some time. I guess, all right, he's already probable. I don't know. We've seen sometimes Coach Bud will just like rest Giannis and throw scrubs in there in a matchup like this one, but probably not the case tonight.
Yeah, that would be rough, right? To lay the 10 right now, and then it ends up being -4, a couple hours later. So, all right, maybe we can wait for the exact news on that. But I would not feel bad about laying it there with the Milwaukee Bucks. The Detroit Pistons are +1 in San Antonio, taking on the Spurs. Total 236. The question is, do these teams either want to win? I think the Detroit Pistons have 11 wins so far this year. The Spurs have 12. These two teams are firmly in the lead for that Victor sweepstakes right now. The total here is 236. I'm not going to play a side. I like the under, AP. I know we don't take unders here, but boy, I mean, neither of these teams have good defense, but my argument is neither of them really have that explosive scorer that could blow this game open. What would kill me here is pace. Jaden Ivey should be getting more minutes, but I was checking his game log. He doesn't get over 30 very often. He's right around the 25 to 30 minute range, right around 27, 28 a night. I don't think that's enough to push this over of a super high total of 236. AP, what are your thoughts when the Pistons take on the Spurs? Yeah,
I kind of like the Spurs here. And I kind of hesitate to say that, but I do. Like, think about Detroit beating the Dubs. I know Steph Curry didn't play, but still, like, defeating the champs has to be like a Super Bowl type win for them and the young team. So I kind of like the Spurs here. I think this game is going to be much better for DFS at a few positions than anything else, mainly point guards against the Spurs. One, it's the best flow chart play on the day. Two, it's just been an absolute printer. So Killian Hayes, I played him against the Warriors because one thing the Warriors aren't doing right now is playing any defense at all. 1% owned. I mean, no one played him. I think I might have been the only one. But man, he played a ton of minutes, 35 minutes. He put up almost 34 DK points. That's off shooting 3 for 12. This guy could not hit anything at all, but he still paid off his tag. So another good matchup here. I think Burks and Ivy are going to rotate, and Killian Hayes is going to continue to run this offense because he's been doing a good job. If you look at some of the advanced passing metrics, they're really interesting. I mean, the guy's creating a lot of opportunities for his team, something that we haven't really seen a lot of for Detroit. So good to see that there. I think Hayes has a big night. I think Jaden Ivey in tournaments, I think, is fine. You could go back to Bogdanovich as well. I mean, kind of a tricky spot to target with Dwayne Casey and his rotations that are very frustrating, but I do see myself going to Killian Hayes here. And then the Spurs, man, the one play, you can play these like shooting guards and these wing types against the Pistons. It's been an absolute printer. I don't know if we trust Keldon Johnson, but he's going to chuck when he's out there. This guy, like, he's really frustrated, and I've just kind of like crossed him off because on paper, he should be putting up better numbers than what he is. It's just he's not hitting shots and he's not doing anything else. But in a matchup like this one where, let's be honest, Detroit's not a good defensive team. They play hard at times, but I could see the Spurs winning on the heels of like a big game from Keldon Johnson. So I think he's interesting. And then if Richardson's out, you go to Romeo Langford too for values, 3.1 on DK.
Tyler, what are your thoughts here on the Pistons and Spurs?
Yeah, only one bet for me in this game. Leaving the side and the total alone, just give me Duren double-double here at plus 130. I think he could eat up his front court, grab me 10 rebounds, score me 10 points.
All right, that's fair.
I mean, Chad, Robert, again, just knocked it out of the park. Duren has been awesome. He really has. Like, why even mess around with Marvin Bagley? And I mean, this is coming from me, who's like, I talk about Marvin Bagley probably more than anyone, just because I think at one point in time he won me some money in DFS. He did somehow. I don't know how, but Gary always gives me crap about it. But get rid of him, go all in on Duren, and then find some other pieces. Like I don't know. Bagley's he's a disaster, man. Huge liability on the defensive end.
Duren is what the Warriors hoped Wiseman would be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Wiseman's not good either.
He might get there. We'll see. But Duren's there right now. The Washington Wizards are +2. They're in Oklahoma City taking on the Thunder. The total is 231.5. Tyler, start with you. Wizards, Thunder. Kind of a weird game, huh? Yeah,
ugly game. Looking at the injury report, though, Beal's out, and we've talked about betting against Washington when they're missing one of their main guys. Give me OKC here, spread. -1.5. They're going to have SGA and them guys on the floor. Knock on wood, because we all know how OKC is. We can cap this game right now, and they could turn around and roll out all 5 starters before this game starts. Yeah. So I'm going to cap this game as if all the guys are in. I think OKC just walks to a win right here against a bad Washington team.
All right. Tyler's not buying the hype on the Washington Wizards, who are actually currently in the play-in conversation. What do you think, AP?
No, I'm with Tyler on this one. OKC, we knew like going into Orlando was going to be a letdown spot after they absolutely dismantled Boston at home and then went on the road. Now they're back at home. I think they get it done here. No Beal. I think Porzingis and Kuzma have themselves a nice game, but I think Shea, Giddey, Lou Dort, I think will make things tough. I think, give me the Thunder -2. I think that's a really strong bet today.
Tyler, our premier game on ESPN is the Brooklyn Nets taking on the Pelicans, 2 teams that we're really high on. You guys called the Pelicans on our preseason previews, and the Brooklyn Nets have come to life as of late. Brooklyn Nets are laying 4.5 in New Orleans. I'm down to take our preseason favorites, the Pelicans. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough right here for me. I mean, Ingram's out, Zion's
No,
still out.
Tyler, it's not tough. Do it.
Mm-mm.
You know you want to. I'm on it too. We know spread's already on it.
Pelicans time.
It's Pelicans time, baby. They're getting it done today.
I'll join you guys. It's Pelicans time, but I'm that guy that got peer pressured onto the ride that thinks he shouldn't be here.
Oh, that's too good.
Yeah, I just think with the guys missing, like once his team's fully healthy, I think they're top 3 in the league. If you're missing 2 of your 3 best guys here, then that's just lost the game. You know they want to get back in the win column. What is it to just go, hey, Ben Simmons, go lock down CJ McCollum, and we're just going to run rampant on this team? Like once you slow him,
happen.
Yeah,
I think Valanciunas has a really nice matchup tonight.
I think Claxton can kind of hold his own down there with him too. So it's like,
yeah, we'll see. I think he's going to get bullied.
Yeah. I'll join the Pelican side, but yeah.
Yeah. We kind of talked him into it, but AP and I, we're much more, we're stronger on this Pelicans pick. What do you think, AP?
Yeah, I think a lot of the public is going to be on the Nets in this spot, bouncing back. They're healthy. Pelicans aren't, but this Pelicans team, they almost remind me of Memphis in a way. Like when you think about how good Memphis was, like in the regular, it still is, but in the regular season, and when their superstars were out, their backup guys would step up. Like I love what I see from Najee Marshall. Trey Murphy has been awesome. You got Herb Jones, who defensively, it'd be on KD, not going to slow KD down, but then you got Jose, who's been good. You got Jackson Hayes, who can kind of fill in as well. And then I do think it's a good matchup for Joval too. So again, no one likes Joval, including myself, but if the Pelicans were to win tonight, he needs to have a big game, and then CJ needs to have a big game too. So tough game, but I think the Pels come to play. And if the Nets don't show up, maybe they underlook this team just being without Zion, being without Brandon Ingram, kind of what we saw from Boston recently. Who knows? I like the Pelicans here. I like the side and money line.
All right. Yeah, I like the Pelicans here too, so I'm with you. Brandon Marin, I mean, this is some top-notch information here. It's good betting karma to hit the thumbs up button, guys. Get the mojo going. It's going to help you win your bets tonight. Tonight, you're going to be watching a game, and we all know it's the NBA. It's going to come down to some free throws. It's going to come down to some wild thing at the end of the game. Wouldn't you like to have that good karma on your side? Get that good mojo. Hit the like. One
other thing, too, TJ Warren might miss tonight, too. He's been awesome for them off the bench. So
yeah, he's been a great addition. And I was wondering if he was ever going to come back, too, right? We talk about some of these players. I think, like Lonzo, is he ever going to come back? So, hey, right, that's why I'm not a doctor at Bet Sports. But I didn't know if we were ever going to get him again. So, yeah. All right. We both like the Pelicans, and we dragged Tyler on the roller coaster ride. Let's see if he acts like his dog and he's throwing up.
It's a sharp bet, man. I like it.
I think so, too. And I think you're right. You might wait. I think the public's going to love the Nets here. And why not?
I think so, too,
Before
man.
that loss, the Nets had won 12 in a row. They had been the best team in the NBA over this course of the last month. And of course, Kevin Durant playing like an MVP. We have so many MVP candidates that they all kind of get lost, but you can't deny how he was playing. But still, I love this Pelicans team, and I really do think they're going to be able to give the Nets some issues, especially traveling from that tough game in Chicago. The Cleveland Cavaliers are plus 5.5 in Denver, taking on the Nuggets last night. And right. The Nuggets, when I fill out my numbers, right, it's going to be a great point differential. Right, that's really going to help up their net rating, get a win like that. But AP already said at the top of the show, that was as much on the Nuggets playing well as the Clippers playing poorly. Give the Nuggets advantage, a credit for taking advantage, because they said, oh, you guys aren't going to play? We're going to put up 63 points in the first half and just give you no chance to go ahead and come back. Jokic had some beautiful passes to Aaron Gordon under the rim, man.
He stopped playing in the second half because he knew he didn't need to play.
Yeah, well,
he's just let the team handle these dudes,
and you can't blame them. So now they have an interesting test tonight. Donovan Mitchell, of course, making headlines earlier this week with his 71-point performance. Now he gets to face the 2-time MVP. I'm expecting we get a much.
He's out.
Yeah, he's out. It's Garland.
He's out again.
Yeah, he was rolled out last night for rest.
They're doing I don't know what they're doing, but they're kind of. Like, I don't
that
think either
ruins
guy
this
is
game
hurt,
for me
man.
as a fan. I mean, we
Yeah,
can still
I
bet it,
know,
but you got to be kidding me.
It was going to be a great game to watch, but then you just see these guys on this injury report. It's like, man, it just favors Denver even more.
Where's we the people to tell me that we don't need to shorten the NBA season? What a freaking joke!
Yeah,
I
they
didn't
got to do
realize
something,
that.
man.
Mea culpa here.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating.
That sucks.
I also don't get how you give a guy a day off for rest when he played Wednesday, off Thursday, plays Friday, and he doesn't play Saturday. Like he's not running a back-to-back. What's he need rest from?
I don't even know. Disappointing. All right, Nuggets are -5.5. Darius Garland can technically absorb that. Let me see. I think I did my projections wrong. I got to change.
Are some of these teams doing this just because it's tougher to play in Denver? Like
I think so.
Denver they're the one team with a pretty true advantage. Like when you think about just like being at home, playing at altitude. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So
That's fair.
Who knows?
Tyler, I got an edge here to the Nuggets, and with Mitchell out, we have to like that even more. What do you think?
Yeah, take them now before Garland's rolled out too, and this is -8. So I like the Nuggets here -5.5.
All right, let's. I'm gonna go ahead and place that right now. Unless AP, you have a reason I shouldn't.
What do you guys think about that? Do you think maybe they gave Mitchell the night off, knowing that Garland's going to play here, or you think there's the possibility that they both miss?
It's just a right thumb. Like I think Garland's fine. Like I think he could have played in some of those other games too if they needed him. So So here's the thing. They got a lot. So this is the start of a 5-game road trip. They got at Phoenix, then Utah, maybe they're just trying to get Donovan Mitchell rested for the Utah game. maybe they want him. I mean, who knows?
They're like, you're scoring 100 that night, buddy.
I played him in DFS that night, and it was no one played him. He was very low owned.
Yeah, I had him too. He was on a bunch of the cores. I think I tailed your core, and he was in a couple other cores too.
He went off, man. It was definitely fun.
Yeah. All right, so
give me the Nuggets too. Man, they played so hard last night. I think they come in, and I like the Nuggets.
All right, so we're on the Nuggets. All right,
they played so good last night that they said Jamal Murray wasn't playing back-to-backs all year. He's probable tonight. That's how good they played last night.
Yeah, and they're like what the Nuggets right now. How many? Let's see. What's their? I don't have their.
I think they're the 1 seed.
Record. They're in first place in the Western Conference right now. They're what are they after last night? 25-13.
Lost to the Timberwolves, but yeah, they drop a few games every now and then. But at home, do you have their at-home record?
15-3. After last night.
Yeah. Give me Nuggets. Nuggets are a great play.
All right, Los Angeles Clippers, your favorite team, AP. After being embarrassed in Denver last night, they traveled to Minnesota. To a team that, boy, I don't know who's in more turmoil, the Atlanta Hawks or the Minnesota Timberwolves. Naz Reid lets everyone know that he knows what the problem is, but they're going to keep it in-house. 224.5. I did a fun podcast yesterday on the Wagering World, and we had our guy, JR Richard Goodman, right? We always like him, Tyler. He brought up a good point about the Timberwolves and Rudy and the idea that Chris Finch just isn't the right coach to run a too-big system. And that they needed a guy like Vogel, or he brought up another coach, I can't remember the name, that would have been able to run a too big defensive system and actually made Rudy look good. So, as bad as Rudy's played, he does think that coaching has something to do with that. I thought that was a prescient point, something that I'm going to look to going forward. But they're not running the two bigs right now because Towns is still out. Anthony Edwards is playing well in the last 4 games. He's averaged 28 the last 4 games. So that's exciting to see for the Timberwolves. Now they're laying 4. But with this Clippers team, I don't know, right? We thought they were going to do a good effort last night. They definitely have the horses to keep this close. They have the horses to slow down Edwards. They have the horses to take advantage of Edwards in the middle. Do they bounce back, or are they just throwing away this whole road trip? I don't know what to do.
Or their horses even come into the race, spread. Paul George questionable, Kawhi questionable.
Kawhi's not going to play because he played last night, right?
Yeah, and
he was doubtful and just recently went to questionable, which is, if we think about it, like, why didn't they come out in the second half? Is it something like, hey, we're going to punt this game now? You guys weren't playing in the first half. They were jogging up and down the court. They played like 12 minutes and zero effort. Maybe all along it was, hey, it's a TNT game. We have to start you guys. Let's just see how it goes. Game was over 6 minutes in. okay, let's focus on the Wolves to try and salvage this road trip. I'm not betting it. I'm not touching them. Screw that team. Screw those guys. But if they play, how do you bet on the Wolves here? It's not a good bet because if Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, if they try to show up, it's a really tough matchup for Minnesota Timberwolves. So no bet for me, but tough.
Jimmy Butler gift here, Tyler.
I mean, I'm gonna wait and watch those injury reports on those two guys. I think they could beat the team if one of them's out, and I don't think Paul George is playing tonight. That's more of a hammy injury. I know the second half you get a little rest, but like you sit him again today, let the hamstring get a little more rest, and then this is also a team where like I know we talk about those questionables, AP, when they come from doubtful down to questionable. It's like these guys are bound to play. If there's one guy that's gonna buck that trend, it's gonna be Kawhi Leonard, and he's gonna be like, nah. I'm not playing.
Yeah, I know. You're right. You're definitely right.
Yes. So I'm going to watch that injury report a little bit more. If I get some news that those guys aren't in, give me the Wolves, and I'll play that up to about -6.
All right. So Tyler will be updating the NBA playbook with that news.
So in DFS, though, if you want like a true punt value, and we obviously there's a lot of news yet to come, but like I could see like a vet like Robert Covington coming out, and he's always going to play hard when he's out there. Like he played, I think, 23 minutes, and out of everyone, I mean, he was given effort, even though it's like they've kind of shit on him, it seems like. I mean, who knows what they're doing with him. But if you want a true punt, that's one guy that, again, I'm avoiding the situation. I want to as much as I can. But if there's one guy, if those guys were out, I would lean on him.
All right. That's fair. Miami Heat are -2 in Phoenix taking on the Suns. Total's only 214 here. Wow. That's low. Let's check the injury report. Dwayne Dedmon probable. Udonis Haslem. Why did I even say that name? Caleb Martin, questionable. Cam Johnson's still out, and Cam Payne's out there. What do we think here? This Phoenix team has sucked without Devin Booker. Miami hasn't been that much better. What do you think, Tyler?
I think it's just an ugly game all around spread. Phoenix was able to gut out the last game. Miami's doesn't look like the same team they've looked like last couple of years when it comes to defense. They still have depth. I know we wanted to ball up the last game, but I think I'm balling this one up. I don't want anything to do with either side of this game.
That's fine. Let me see if I have that 214 sticks out like a sore thumb.
It does, but
I got an over.
Doesn't this rub you as a game where, like, if any game's going to be like, here's a low total, and you're like, snap bet the over, and then they don't even cross 200 points?
I mean, just to add on to that, so last game, the Suns put up 88 points. They shot 40% from the field. Like, I've seen overs hit with like 7%, 38% shooting just because the pace was good enough. That just tells you how slow they're playing right now without Devin Booker. So
okay, so we'll stay away from that then altogether.
I mean, yeah, my rule is I can't like a total that low. I'm not taking an under on it just because it's like it would hurt my stomach. But I can't bet an over in this spot too because
it seems too good to be true.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. Final game of the night, AP, and this is the one you said to everyone to stay tuned for. The Atlanta Hawks are now -2.5 in Los Angeles, taking on the Lakers. Here's a total you love to see, AP, 242.5. Clint Capella's out. Troy Brown's out. Sterling Brown is in. Sterling Brown, okay. LeBron James probable. Damian Jones questionable. Russell Westbrook probable. I expect the big stars to play for the Lakers. How do you expect this game to go? Hawks had some turmoil, but they beat my team, the Beam team, on Wednesday night. Do you think they can get another road win, AP? So
just DFS wise, I think this game is an absolute printer. So we started doing these flowchart plays. They've been like last night. If you would, and this isn't anything me. I literally, so I have 3 sources because some of the sites out there, they have players at the wrong position. And right now in today's NBA, like it's nothing on that side or anything like that. It is really tough because every team switches and everyone can play like at least 3 or 4 different positions. But I use that. I pull that data in. I rank like the best matchup based play. So defense versus position. And when you're looking at this right now, this Hawks team is playing no defense. Like LeBron James, Thomas Bryant, both of those guys are on there. You could add whoever ends up being the wing or small forward for the Lakers. They grade out as a very strong play too. And then on the other side, this Lakers team is not really playing defense as well. Bigs have been smashing. Like Mason Plumlee, just that, like Thomas Bryant's been awesome, mainly offensively. But like Mason Plumlee, and this is a guy we don't think about dominating, a front court. absolutely dominated that game against the Lakers. And so if Mason Plumlee can, you got to like Anike Okongwu, 5.7K. I think DeJounte Murray also kind of in play, more so in tournaments. But the real side of this game is the Lakers. I think you can play 3 or 4 pieces from the Lakers side with everyone that they have out. Make sure you get LeBron in there. I think it's going to be LeBron padding his stats. And their coach Ham, he's pushing LeBron now. I mean, LeBron, there's a stretch where I was like wondering what they were doing with LeBron James's minutes. So like if we go back a little bit, 3 games ago, and there was a 5-game stretch where he was only playing about 30 to 33 minutes per game. Now he's back up to 39, 40 minutes. And the coach came out and said they want to ride him. And he's fine with that. So he's going to get his rest on the back-to-backs and all of that. But when he's playing, he's going to carry this team. So give me LeBron, give me Thomas Bryant, whatever scrubs they throw in there. I think Schroeder, Bev, they're going to have to play big minutes. Really curious to see what the starting lineup looks like, though.
All right. AP says, this is your printer, late night hammer. Love to see it. Tyler, Hawks are laying 2.5 to LA. This line's moved to 1.5 since I did the playbook early this morning. What are your thoughts here when the Hawks are on the road?
Yeah, I'm going to join our guy C-Dome on that Lakers train spread. Lakers winning this game outright. I can see LeBron just absolutely housing this team like he did in the last matchup. That 33.5 on his points seems a bit high. Give me the over anyway. I think he goes for 40 here. I mean, just some of these performance doubles, too. Him to score 35+ and win, plus 310.
Wow.
Him to double-double and win, plus 300. Westbrook the double-double and win, plus 350. Like, there's a ton of ways. James 3+3s and win, plus 370. I'm all over LeBron in this spot. I think he eats him up. I think that the Hawks are in absolute shambles. The coach is talking about stepping down. They're not going to trade a guy like Trae Young, so it's probably going to be the coach that goes first.
I would.
I agree with you, but you can't. Like,
why not?
We talked about this before. How do you sell tickets?
To that barbershop?
I guess so.
So when I look at this, like Tyler, me and you locked arm in arm on this. I'm with you. LeBron put up 47 against the Hawks just a few games ago. Now he gets them at home. And now LeBron is like looking, everyone's talking about what Tatum's been doing, what Giannis has been doing, what Luka's been doing. I think he puts on a show tonight. I think he goes for 50. What D. Mitch has been doing, like, he listens to all of that.
He saw Lord Marketing.
He wants the attention on him. I think he goes for 50 real points tonight. I'm locking him in DFS. And he's 10-7. Like, I think like he goes a little under-owned tonight because you're going to have so many decisions. You're going to have Giannis. You're going to like – so, yeah, give me all the LeBron tonight.
You think this team has any hopes of getting a playoff spot, AP? Or you think they're just kind of –
the Lakers?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like you got to like when Russ led them to a win over the Heat, I think maybe a turning point. Like they've already kind of started to get like they got to get out of this they got to get above 500. If they can get above 500 soon and then get some momentum going and then get AD back eventually, then I think they get in the playoffs.
Yeah. Because they're hanging LeBron
for us
370 to 1 to win MVP. If they get a playoff spot, they're jamming his name in this conversation. I mean, he's behind.
What's the odds?
370 to 1. He's behind SGA, Siakam, Lillard, Booker, Zion, Curry, Mitchell, Ja, and then everyone at the top.
So if he continues to play 40 minutes a night when he is in and not resting, I mean, his name's slowly going to creep up the list if he continues to play at a high level. So,
and if the team starts,
I'm gonna have to put some money on it just because.
It up too.
Yeah, like those odds.
What book is that at, Tyler?
That's on FanDuel.
Yeah. Let's run Pierre and bet that number down right now. We'll see where it's at.
Is that just like a public bet they're trying to get a lot of people to like load up on?
I was looking around books. DraftKings is hanging him at like 200 to 1. I was like, this number is a little bit off.
It just seems crazy for a guy like LeBron, but
yeah, it's you just see the guys he's paired around in the groups too. It's like these guys, like a SGA would have to score 40 points the rest of the year and go on an insane winning streak to even have his name considered in the MVP conversation.
Yeah, Robert brings up. I mean, he's sitting back to backs right now, which is LeBron. The only problem is he's sitting back to backs, which makes sense, but if he plays 40 minutes a night, and no AD, his numbers are going to look pretty good. So
yeah,
it's definitely worth the bet.
Looking at the guys ahead of him too, it's like Luka kind of sits games here and there. Giannis has missed some games. Tatum and Jokic are the two guys. And Durant, they don't really sit much, but Embiid's missed. Morant's missed. Mitchell's resting tonight. Curry's out. Zion's out. Booker's out. Lillard's missed time.
And no one can say LeBron doesn't want to earn it because, I mean, this is how many years has he been in the league playing at this high of a level?
20 or 21.
Just insane.
Yeah, 20. He came there. I think 2003 was here. He was drafted.
I know Gary's watching. Gary's probably watching, shaking his head, calling him lay soft right now.
Oh, wow. There we go. All right. Well, there you have it. We made it through the whole slate, but we're not done yet. Give us that thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. We'll give you the best bets. Tyler, let's start with you, but in case you have any more veterinary emergencies.
Yeah. Hopefully no dogs go crazy. If they do, hopefully they just run away. But give me the Pacers. Give me the Pacers -2 here. I think they smashed the Blazers.
All right. Tyler's on the Pacers -2. What do you got for us, AP?
I'm going to give 2 just because one of them is the Pelicans side of money line. But then actually, you go ahead. If you don't take this other one, I'm going to give it out. I don't want to steal your play, though.
It's fine. I got plenty. So.
Pelicans. Oh, it's the Lakers. I think the Lakers get the win tonight, too. So give me the Pelicans. So also Pelicans money line parlayed with Lakers money line, too, just for some extra juice there.
All right, I'm going to take Tyler's favorite player so I can buy a jersey for him off the winnings. Give me Nikola Jokic, 2-time MVP, and the Denver Nuggets.
My favorite player can't even allow back in the NBA right now, spread.
Pardon?
My favorite player can't even get a job on a team right now.
Who, Carmelo?
Yeah, because he doesn't play defense.
My age.
But we're watching guys run around and don't play defense anyway. It's like, he can still put the ball in the bucket. Give my guy a chance.
How old is he? No, he was in.
He's
a year older than LeBron because he played 1 year of college. So LeBron's he's 38.
So he's 39.
They said his big thing is he wants to see his kid play high school basketball. Like he told his kid he'll be there for him through that, like all his high school games and everything.
So I know this is NBA though, but spread. I see that Raider. I can see that your Raiders right there. Yeah. What's going to happen? Raiders. Chiefs, you Raiders.
We're covering.
Did you see Mahomes? Like all the records that he could break. I'm all in on Patrick Mahomes this week, man. He's gonna. Yeah. And the Raiders always play Kansas City close. No matter what. That's the Chiefs own the Chargers. The Raiders, man, you guys always play Kansas City close. I think it's going to be a game. I don't even know what the total is, but I'm betting.
That was my best bet on talking touchdowns. Was to take
overs?
The +9.5. No, I just took the
+9.5. Yeah, dude, I would not count them out. I could see them winning. I think the game is going to go nuclear for DFS too. So
yeah. So yeah,
can we play Stidham or whatever his name is? I mean, if he can,
I don't think you can because Mahomes is like the free square.
Yeah, but Mahomes is like expensive. I mean, you got to. It's the one thing about the quarterback spot, or at least I played Russ last week because quarterbacks have crushed against Kansas City all season long because they get lazy on defense. They don't show up. They just know they have Patrick Mahomes that he's going to carry them. So I might play your what's his name?
You'll be getting different because Mahomes is
doesn't this spot for him though scream like super regression spot like.
We said that about Brock Purdy.
That's a whole different system, though. This kid, we watched him play in different spots. He played in New England. He sucked in New England. He gets one game for the Raiders against the defense that's a top team in the league, and it's almost like they looked at him and said, "Oh well, like we're just gonna go through the motions here." He had a great game, I know that, but
I don't see how Kansas City slows down Adams though. As long as he can get the ball to
and I think the difference is he knows the system, and I don't think Derek Carr ever learned it.
I don't trust Kansas City in the playoffs either, just because they got some issues on defense, so they got some stuff to fix.
I'm still Team KC to make the Super Bowl.
You what?
One fun bet for you: these out yards on passing yards for Patrick Mahomes. He needs 430 to break that record.
Yep,
400 plus is +410.
Wow.
Okay,
I love that one.
I think he goes over.
We even gave you some bonus NFL picks there. So, see, that's the great content you get here on the Run Pure Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Guys, give us a thumbs up. We're here every Monday through Friday giving out the winners. And, of course, if you want those weekend winners, become a member of runpuresports.com. Just dial up that NBA playbook, bet the RPB tags, and start counting the money. AP, what other great content do we have coming up this weekend on Run Pure?
Yeah, we're doing. I think we added a football show tomorrow. There's a 2-game slate for the NFL slate, so they will be. I don't even actually know who's on it, so I got to still look. I'm sure JSU probably is on it, but we got NBA content all weekend long. I mean, it's going to be a fun sports weekend. Week 18, always crazy in the NFL streets. That's the other reason why I'm just like on Mahomes, just because it's like there's so many unknowns, and I just don't want to like pick the wrong spot. So it's Mahomes for me. But no, it's going to be a fun weekend. Lots of NBA, lots of NFL.
Yeah, I mean, we keep winning over here at Run Beer. We've been stacking money on the bet side, and of course, you guys have seen everything that the DFS side has done, the screenshots, the winners, the milli makers. Fantastic time to become a member of Run Pure Sports. So there you have it. We'll be back on Monday morning. Our next show will be the NBA Rundown. That will be at 12 Eastern, 9 Pacific, featuring JC Zargo. And then Tyler, Title, and I at 10:30 Eastern, or at 10:30 Pacific, 1:30 Eastern. We'll be talking touchdowns. We're going to review the slate. That should be a fun show because sometimes we've been passing over some of these bad teams, but we're going to talk about their
We'll have to
offseason.
help Title count all that money he won in best ball too. You see that?
Yeah. So we're really looking forward to a great weekend here. AP, thank you for joining us. Chat, thank you for being lively. We appreciate you guys showing up. Share the channel, retweet the show, and Run Pure.